President Obama has declared January National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Slaves today are generally kidnapped and then deceived into working against their will and without pay. Al Jazeera's Lisa Bernard takes a look at a photographer who's getting a very intimate look at their stories.
These are the faces of slaves, modern-day slaves forced to work without pay, under the threat of violence, and with no power to walk away. They labor in gold mines in Ghana, kilns in Nepal, silk dyeing houses in India. 16 hours a day, no rest for food or water or bathroom breaks. This child, Kofi, worked as a slave in a fishing village in Ghana. His parents sent him away on the promise of education. Instead, he was sold as a slave and made to work hauling heavy fish nets.
He is like a tempest, isn't he?
Acclaimed humanitarian photographer Lisa Christine documents their stories.
Entire families, cloaked in a blanket of dust, are forced to stack bricks on their head, up to 18 at a time, each brick weighing more than 4 pounds, and then made to walk hundreds of yards to a truck to place them on the back of the truck.
According to Free the Slaves, a nonprofit agency, 21 to 30 million people are trapped in slavery around the world today. Traffickers earn about $32 billion each year. Many everyday products are made by slaves, such as cars, computers, chocolate, cell phones, and clothing.
They do it because they've been lied to, and they have believed somebody, and then have been exploited.
India has the largest slave population, 14 million, but it's also right here in our own backyard. 60,000 are enslaved in the U.S., according to the agency Free the Slaves.
We went along with a San Francisco police sergeant who tries to determine if employees are working against their will.
I just want to make sure that everything's okay.
Yeah, that's an okay.
All right, okay.
In San Francisco, one young woman who says she was brainwashed and forced to work in strip clubs for nearly 8 years shared her story with us. She asked to remain anonymous. She says she is still afraid of the man who methodically exploited her.
I was very young and very vulnerable.
Soon, the 19-year-old was earning $3,000 cash for an 8-hour shift stripping, and she handed her money over to the man who made her dance.
He told me almost every day that he would kill me if I left him, that I was his property.
She says after a manager at the club let her sleep in a closet to recover from intense fatigue instead of dancing, she was able to get the strength to run away.
I went to a lot of trauma therapy and started to heal.
Do you have a message for other young women?
There are people that care about you, even though you might feel like you're ostracized by society. There is help.
In California, landmark legislation passed last year requires adult clubs, transit stops, and hospitals to post signs offering phone numbers and support to victims of slavery and human trafficking. Some successful efforts abroad, too. Kofi has been freed and reunited with his parents.
But the dye is toxic.
Lisa Christine has taken photos of some of the millions who are still enslaved. She had them hold a candle in the portraits to shine a light on their stories. Lisa Bernard, Al Jazeera, San Francisco.